Hello and welcome to today's video. So today I asked my boyfriend to draw me some makeup looks and I'm going to attempt to recreate them. So I hope that you enjoy. So I have got my base makeup ready to do the first look that my boyfriend has drawn for me. So I will pop up a little picture just here of his first drawing. And I have chosen which palettes I'm going to use for this look. So I thought there's 4 shades, so I might as well go all out and use 4 different palettes. And the first shade I'm going to start with is that bright blue on the outer part of the look. And the palette I've chosen for that is the very aptly named Blue Blood, because if you need a blue eyeshadow shade, then what other palette am I going to use? And then I'm going to use shade Blue Blood. I thought this would fit the drawing that Tim has done. I have just got this really small brush to just concentrate the blue on the outer part of my eye. Thought if I go for a bit of placement first, it will help with the rest of the look, and hopefully I can bring his vision of this look to life. So I'm hoping this is a bright enough blue. Maybe I'll mix a little bit of I'm Cold into this, because that is really quite light. That's kind of what I was thinking when I saw his drawing. I want to make sure that I leave enough space for the other shades, because I've got to fit a purple in here and a peach and that silver right on the inner corner. So that is the blue outer part of hopefully the drawing done. Next, you would have seen on the image that my boyfriend drew was a purple. So I have decided to use my Sample Beauty Painters palette for the purple shade, and the shade I'm actually using is this one here, shade Prince. I just thought this looked like a pretty good purple. I'm hoping it will blend quite nicely with this blue, but these aren't 2 shades that I've ever actually used together, so I'm just gonna have to hope for the best here. I just thought it would be really fun to get my boyfriend to draw some eyeshadow looks for me to create. I did actually do this before, but I got 3 of my friends to draw me different eyeshadow looks and I did my best to recreate those. So I will, if I remember, pop that video in the description, or at least put it on the end cards anyway. So if you wanted to check that out after this, wow, you can. This is a good purple. It's actually blended really nicely with that blue. I like this almost like a midnight blue that's gone as it's blended. I know that wasn't quite what Tim had on his picture, but so I didn't know how these shades were going to perform together, but I think they look pretty cool. So there is that purple down on both eyes, and maybe, I don't know, the purple was slightly darker than I kind of envisaged it, but hopefully looking so far somewhat like the drawing that Tim did. So if you cast your mind back to the drawing, the next shade along was like a soft peachy shade, and I don't really know how that's going to work out blending in with this purple that's actually quite dark. But the peachy shade I've decided to use is from my Garden Variety palette, and I'm going to use this shade here, which is shade Prickly Please. I just thought this was quite a good peach shade, and when I saw the drawing for the first time, I immediately thought, yes, I've definitely got some good peach shades in this palette. So hopefully it's not going to get too overshadowed by this purple. So I'm going to get this on the rest of my eye, because the silver that's going to go on the very inner corner, I can just quite easily go back in with that. And I'm trying really hard not to bring too much of this purple across, obviously, to the inner part of my eye, because I do want to keep this peach somewhat peachy. It's definitely been the hardest shade so far, just because, say, that purple is so pigmented. I just don't want to bring too much of it over, but I still obviously want it to be blended. I'm hoping that's quite a nice little transition there. So that is the peachy shade done. I'm still really thinking about this purple and how maybe I can brighten it up a bit. And I know the very inner corner is going to be silver and it's going to be shimmery, but I still feel like I need a little bit of something else going on with this look at the moment. So I've pulled out my I Heart Revolution Unicorn Heart palette, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of this shade here, this very light sparkly purple, just really along the purple that I've got. I'm just really hoping it's gonna just ever so slightly brighten it up and just give it a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, so I really think that does look a lot better now I've got that extra little bit of sparkle going on, because it was quite full on with all of those matte shades blended in together. So all that's left is to do the silver part on the inner corner, and obviously I'll get to my under eye in a moment. And for the silver, I've reached for my Jeffree Star Weirdo palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Razor Blade. I've gone for this flat brush, and hopefully I'm going to get quite a good bit of precision here, just on the very inner corner. I don't know how it's going to go with this peach shade, because I really do want this silver to show up. Maybe I should have left a bit of space for the silver, but I think it's laying down quite nicely. Hopefully you can see that little bit of silver shimmer there. So last up, I've obviously just got to do the under eye, and the drawing that Tim did was just the same 4 shades in the same order along the bottom of my eye. So I've already got a little bit of this blue shade, which was Blue Blood, along the outer part. Next up was that purple shade from the Painter's palette, so just going in with that one now, just a really small amount. And then lastly, that peachy shade from the Garden Variety palette. I've already got my silver on the under eye where I've just popped that on, so this will be the last shade I need to do. So I think that is all of the eyeshadow done that hopefully represents Tim's drawing. I hope that he'll be pleased with my efforts of recreating his look. All that's left is just eyeliner, mascara and just some lipstick to finish off the entire look. I've just got this black eyeliner pencil from Primark. I have got my Colourpop Act Natural Defining Mascara, and this is black. And I have just got for my lips this liquid lipstick here. This is the Technic Liquid Lipstick Nude Edition, and this is their matte finish one. So I'll just get all of that done, and yeah, I can have a little look at the final look. So there is the final look all completed. I will just bring up another picture of Tim's drawing so you can have a little side-by-side comparison. And I will also just give you a close-up of the look so you can see that in more detail. So I think all in all that I've done a pretty good job of trying to recreate the drawing that Tim did. So I have actually asked him to do 2 more drawings, and I haven't seen either of those. I've only seen this one. I thought it would be more exciting. Basically, if I just had less time to prepare for it and just kind of saw it and then 10 minutes later, right, I'm now going to create this look. But I quite like these colour combinations that he's picked. I thought obviously that the blue and the purple were going to work because they're quite similar in their tones anyway. I actually really like the addition of the peachy shade. I didn't realise that that would go quite so nicely with that purple, and I think that the really shimmery silver inner corner looks really, really great as well. So I will be back very shortly with the next look. So I'm now back and ready to do the second eyeshadow look that my boyfriend has drawn for me. So I will pop up a little picture just here of the second look. And as you can see, it is quite a bit different than the first look. Definitely getting a bit more creative and a bit more probably difficult for me to create, but there we go. That is the fun of it all. So going for this like pink and purple theme with like a cloud. So I've never done anything like this before, so I'm definitely very interested and excited to see how I'm going to tackle this. Starting off with my Beauty Bay Bright palette, and the first shade I'm going to get down is going to be this pink here, which is shade 22, because I thought I'd start off with this like lighter pink, or the lightest pink in here. I can always add a bit of white just to soften it out, and then I can add the darker shade afterwards. So let's get this all over, I reckon, as quite a good little starting point for the look. Actually, this is quite a soft pink already. Definitely looks a bit darker in the palette, but this is definitely the kind of shade I was hoping for the start of this look. So there I've got that first pink shade down. I think I'm going to add a tiny little bit of this darker pink here, shade Make Them Wink, before I transition into the purple. I'm hoping that it will just give kind of a better ombre effect. So just taking a really small amount of that on my brush, and then I just need to decide which purple shade I'm going to use. I thought I would just stick with this palette for the pinks and the purples because, well, if you've seen it, it's got like every single shade I could possibly need, and it's also got that white shade that I'm intrigued about for this look. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. And the purple shade I think I'm going to go for Modern Way, which is kind of this like halfway purple. I've got a slightly smaller brush because I don't want to get too much on my eye to start off with. I say as I probably end up putting too much on and then there's like no coming back from it, but I really want to just pop this right at the top of where I've got these pink shades, just literally right on the outer part. I mean, it's a sky or a sky kind of sunsetty thing, so I want it to be quite subtle. Yeah, I'm actually really liking this so far. Definitely how I kind of pictured this coming together. So hopefully when Tim sees the finished look and I look back at it next to the drawing, it will kind of be what he was imagining as well. Well, there I've got that bit of purple down now, and I'm actually really happy with that. I think though I'm gonna do the under eye before I start tackling the actual cloud, because I think once I've like started the cloud, I don't want to do anything that's going to mess it up or disturb it too much. So I thought if I get the under eye done, then it's just less to do after I've hopefully got what's going to resemble a cloud on the rest of my eyelid. So I'm going back in with shade 22, and I've just got this smaller brush again, just so I can focus this just on my under eye. I thought just a continuation of the pink would be quite nice. Well, that is the pink on the under eye done, and yeah, actually really liking this so far. I'm actually quite scared to do the cloud part. I feel like this is going to make or break it, but I was having a little think about how I could actually do the cloud, and I've actually opted to go for this eye base from Beauty Bay. This is just a white eye base, and then I've got this like flat brush here to apply it. So I'm going to see how good this looks, because obviously it's probably going to be a bit of like a pinky white, and then I'm thinking maybe go over the top of it with the actual white eyeshadow that was in the Brights palette. I feel like this is going to be a bit of trial and error because I've never really done anything like this before. I don't know, it's going to be my first attempt at this, so if it looks horrendous, then just know that I've tried my best. How round I can make this look. Maybe if I start off like this, I can kind of round off some edges. I mean, I don't think think it's terrible. It's probably not as good as I imagined, but I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit. I think I am gonna go over it a little bit with the white eyeshadow, and then obviously I'll do this eye as well. So I've done both eyes with the eye base. I feel like the second eye definitely looks much better. It's definitely more rounded. So I'm now gonna go in with shade White Lies. I've got this really fluffy brush here just to pop down some of that shade on this eye base. There's one final thing I'm gonna do to hopefully make this look a bit more cloudy or just be a bit more interesting. I think I'm actually going to put a glitter onto this cloud, and I've got a really nice glitter actually that's got a purple shifting, so I thought that would go quite nicely with the purple. So for my glitter, I am using this Colourpop in a Trance palette because it has got this glitter in the middle here, which is called All Aura Again. I just thought it would be a nice little addition to the cloud, I guess you could call it a cloud. And I'm just going to pop this just obviously onto the cloud. So there is the glitter done, and I think it definitely makes, I don't know if it necessarily makes it look more cloud-like, but definitely makes it a bit more interesting. All that's left now obviously is my eyeliner, my mascara and my lipstick, and I've opted to use a white eyeliner. I thought it would just go quite nicely with obviously the cloud and just the whole look in general. So this one here is just the MUA Makeup Academy eyeliner in shade Snow Queen. And then for my mascara, I've just got the same one that I used for the first look. This is the Colourpop Act Natural Defining Mascara. And then lastly, my lipstick, I've got this one here from Revlon. This is their Super Lustrous lipstick in the shade Rose Wine. So that is the look all completed, and as always I'll give you a little close-up of the eyeshadow. So I definitely think for my first attempt at creating some kind of cloud, a technique and a look I've never done before ever, I think it came off pretty well. I mean, I suppose Tim will be the actual final judge as to whether I've brought his drawing to life, but I think I've done a pretty good job, and this was definitely harder than the first look. So I don't know, maybe part of me's a bit scared but also a bit excited to see whether the final look is going to be even more difficult. But I really like the colour combinations. I like this kind of ombre pinky purple going on, and then I like the added glitter for the cloud. I don't know if the cloud shape actually screams cloud shape, but it was quite hard, especially with that brush, to try and actually get like a soft fluffy looking cloud. But let me know what you think. I think I did an all right job at bringing the drawing to life. I'll pop another picture of it up here so you can give a little side-by-side comparison and let me know what you think. The original plan was to do 3 different makeup looks, but my boyfriend actually drew loads that it was so hard to pick just 3. So I'm actually going to do a part 2 of this video, and as a bit of a sneak peek for next time, I will show you what the third look is going to be, or at least the drawing anyway. So here you go. I hope that you enjoyed both of the looks that I recreated so far. If you had a favourite, definitely let me know which one it was, and I hope that you're looking forward to part 2 where the looks will definitely get a lot harder. I know I'm very excited, but as always, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again in my next video.